Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to World of Warships. So in today's video, I have a rather intriguing question to discuss that was posed to me. About a battle I posted probably a month ago. I'll link that video up in the top right if you want to check that battle out. But I was asked, after posting this video, Flimsy, how is it possible for you to be a Unicom player and have fun playing the game at the same time? Those two things don't seem to go hand in hand. And I thought that was a really intriguing question, really interesting. So I told him I had to think about it and that I would post a future video on that topic. And for those of you who are newer, I realize there are some of you who are newer to the channel, newer to the game. And what is a Unicom player? A Unicom player is someone who is more rare, unique in playing the game World of Warships in terms of win rate. So my win rating is over 60%. And that puts me in the top 3% of players on the North American server. And then you also have a super Unicom player. Those are also a very, very rare breed that I've seen, anywhere from 65, 70% and higher. But this question was posed, how is it possible for you to be a Unicom player and enjoy playing the game, having fun? And I think it really links back first. I have like 6 things kind of listed out in my mind and written down here, but it goes back to the video I posted a while ago that brought this question to mind. And a lot of that has to do with mentality in playing the game. So before I was ever a Unicom player, I was just a standard, average to great player. And I kind of realized, hey, I'm not too far away from reaching being a Unicom win rating, Unicom player in World of Warships in random battles. Wouldn't that be funny if I reached Unicom, like the status of a Unicom player? So I had this kind of funny challenge in my mind where I just thought it'd be amusing if I was even actually possible to reach the level of being a Unicom player. But I had one rule with that. I was like, well, let's see if this is possible. And that rule was that I had to enjoy playing the game. I had to have fun playing. That was my rule. If I started getting really negative and not enjoying the possibility of trying to reach a Unicom player or just not enjoying the game as a whole, then I would just take a break, take a pause, and just kind of reevaluate things, if that makes sense. So I feel like even before you ever play this game, mentality is such a huge thing. As I discussed in the other video, one of the things I shared on is just how you approach a battle, how you approach the game before you even log in, before you even click the start battle button. Because I think that impacts players a lot in this game, just with the mentality and how they approach it. I've read comments of people saying, I had a heart attack, and that was kind of the wake-up call that I need to stop playing World of Warships because they had a heart attack while they were playing the game, because they were just so flustered with the battle. There's other players that I've seen just smash their keyboards, so on and so forth. You have those really bad games and not enjoyable, so on and so forth. But also I've seen players that have a pretty good positive mentality approach to the game. Yeah, it's frustrating when wargaming's doing a lot of different things in the game, but also what I shared and talking about mentality is to a certain extent accepting the game of how it currently is. So for me, mentality is a big thing of being a Unicom player and also having fun in the game at the same time. Because mentality, again, to me, it's just really important, and how you as a player, do you handle competition well? Are you really sucks? You really hard on yourself if you lose, but realizing at the same time it's just a game, so on and so forth. So I kind of shared that mentality in that other video, so I'm not going to talk more about that, but if you want to check out that video, you can. A second thing that it goes sort of with mentality, but it's a little bit different. And there's several ways I can phrase this. One is that I like to reflect a lot. I'm a very observant person. I check myself. I know my limit when it comes to the game. So if I'm having a bad day, I had a bad day just in real life, yada yada yada, then I'm probably not gonna log into and play random battles or ranked for the day. I might just take it easy and play co-op battles. Just need to vent, maybe just blow stuff up, right? Blow up mindless bots. Knowing your limit is in, if matchmaking seems to have you targeted where you're on a losing streak, it's like, okay, we need to stop playing random battles. Maybe let's just go over to ops, scenarios, co-op. Let's change things up. Or it might just be as simple as, okay, I need to log off now. And having the ability and power to just simply log out of the game, where it doesn't feel like the game controls you, if that makes sense. Because I know it's hard, especially when we're gaming, when they have it's set up, designed to sign in daily to claim rewards. So then you're logged in, it's like, oh, why don't I just play some games? But it's just knowing your limit and checking yourself. You know, how am I handling the game right now? Do I feel like I'm in a healthy place in playing this game? Or do I feel like I'm not? So I feel like that's important. It's kind of like a personal health check, I guess, if that makes sense in playing the game. Because I know some players can get really worked up. I mean, you see that in chat for different times, people cussing and just going on a rant, and people posting about being chat banned by wargaming and like all these things. So, you know, then that probably means you need a break from the game, or you just need to take it easy. You know, if it's you in your mind, the team's frustrating you a lot, you feel like it's a constant blowouts, so on and so forth. So it's just checking yourself, seeing how you're doing. One of the other things I've shared about in the past, I'll call this number 3, is taking regular breaks from the game. So for me, myself, I take regular breaks from playing World of Warships. A lot of that sometimes just ends up with how life schedule each year. It could be I'm going away on a work conference, so I'm like, hey, these are 5 days, I'm going to be away. I could use that as a break from the game World of Warships. I have to be a little more intentional about that now because I have a gaming laptop, so I can play on the go while traveling. But taking regular breaks from the game, I feel like, is super important. I have a thing in my mind where I have to at least take 4 breaks from the game a year. And typically that is at least a minimum of 5 days, usually. So I just step away. I kind of focus on other things. And maybe there's another game I'm playing. Or it's just, you know, I'm traveling. It's vacation. So there's at least a minimum of 20 days a year I'm not playing World of Warships. Like, minimal. Honestly, it's probably closer to... I mean, if we're counting days, it can probably get over... I mean, it's easily over 30 days that I'm away from the game. Not all in one period, but sporadic events. So it's like the goal of having 4 breaks from the game a year. You know, I'm thinking spring, summer, fall, winter, and having the breaks from the game. So I recently, some of you know who've been around here long enough, that I just had a work family trip to the U.S. And so... there were, I mean, I probably didn't play the game for just maybe 20 days alone in that trip. I know for sure I at least went 7 days once without playing the game. And then there's some other couple days here and there, you know, 3 to 4 days when we're playing the game. So I just had a basically 20-day break from the game. And again, I think it's important because it's very easy, because I kind of like sociology. In college, and just examining that and how people react and respond to different things in life. But it's important to be able to not let the game become like, I don't know if this makes sense, but an identity, part of your identity in an unhealthy way, or where it feels like the game's controlling you more than you're controlling the game. So that is why, for me, it's important to take breaks away. Just to relax. Maybe, you know, again, it's a work, it's vacation, or it can be I'm still at home, but I'm like, hey, I gotta take these 5 days off from the game right now. So taking breaks has really helped my mentality of being able to be a Unicom player and having fun. I mean, I know there's other players, you know, you see Twitch streamers, YouTube content creators, and that's their primary job. So I totally get that. It's very difficult maybe for them to be able to take many breaks in the game because it's their livelihood. That's how they make a living. But taking regular breaks in the game, as for us, those of us who don't make a livelihood off the game, or just casual players to maybe playing every day, is really helpful. And so that is what has helped my mentality, but also has helped my enjoyment of the game, because when I take that time away and then I come back to the game, I'm like, I kind of like, oh, I've missed this. It feels good to be back and playing this again. Number 4. That was number 3. Number 4 is, I've also shared on this, is have another game to play. Don't let World of Warships be the only game you play. Have some other games you can hop around onto. Maybe a little more relaxing. It's not player versus player content. So for example, myself, I play Red Alert, Command and Conquer game sometimes, and a game that I've been playing a little bit more lately is actually Farming Simulator 19. So that game is really peaceful, it's quiet, I can enjoy time to myself, not having to talk with other players in the game, and I can be creative, I can build things. I mean, Minecraft is also another game. I haven't touched that one for a while, but having another game to play beyond just World of Warships. World of Warships is the only game you're playing. I feel like it can make you have maybe more cynical perspective of gaming as a whole, but changing it up a little bit. Like, think of it as a food. Like, if World of Warships is the only food you're digesting playing this game, then it's probably not going to be very healthy for you. But if you have a good diet that's mixed with other different sides, you change it up every now and then, you know, then you're not just only eating that one, consuming that one substance again and again and again. So that's why I think that's really important with World of Warships, especially since 2021 has been a rather dramatic year for wargaming, with how different things have gone down in the game, and there's just so much to talk about there, and maybe we'll do that in a couple weeks, just kind of reflecting on 2021 as a whole. So have other games to play. Number 5 is play low and mid tier. I know there's a lot of players who, well, there's 2 groups of players. A lot of players only like to focus on high tier playing, so maybe tier 10, tier 9, tier 8. And then there's also another group of players that really don't go past tier 6. And so for myself, maybe I'm speaking for the majority of us players, maybe a lot of us play the higher tiers, tier 8 to tier 10. So it's really good to drop down to tiers, you know, like in this battle, in Nicholas, tier 5, US American Destroyer, and I'm in a division with friends. But dropping down to tier 5 and lower, because it's really nice, because you get away from, and wargaming doesn't like this word, but the gimmicks that you run into the high tiers. You know, you have the Austin with that 75% main battery reload booster, these 12-kilometer radars, these hybrid ships that are both cruiser and CV / battleship and CV. Yeah, there's just, I mean, the list goes on and on, right? Polio, Melio. You have all these different ships that they make more gimmicky at the high tier than this mid to low tier, right? At tier 5, you're not worrying about radar. You're not worrying about all these ships having different gimmicks. So it feels more straightforward, if that makes sense. So I try to regularly drop down to playing tier 6 and lower. Tier 5, tier 4, tier 3. I think one of my favorite Russian destroyers is the tier 3. I think it's a tier 3. It's the Dursky. That ship's a lot of fun. And I think I can add to that too, is play different game modes. Don't only play randoms. Don't only play ranked, you know. Play co-op a little bit. Play ops a bit. When they have arms race not too long ago. So just switching up what you're doing, but definitely playing low and mid tier, because it's not as complicated. I guess you don't have to think as much, if that makes sense, in playing the game. So play low and mid tier. The 6th thing I would say that's helped me is just saying playing in divisions, like in this battle. This battle has actually gone really well for us as a division, all of us being clanmates. And usually this isn't always the case. Like, sometimes we'll get deleted rather early in the game, but this is one of those videos I was holding on to that we actually did really good, where we as a division contributed a lot to this match for our team. So playing in divisions, it's fun to enjoy the games with others. I mean, you just watch Flambass's videos of charging down the center and two brothers, and he does it in a very, not always a methodical way, but a smart way. And I don't always advise charging down the center channel of two brothers in the beginning, but you get a lot of laughs. You know, I've had so many laughs and good times with my clanmates and people I division with, just laughing and carrying on, and how we play the game. I think if you're playing the game alone and you don't have someone to play with, I could see that kind of taking away some of your enjoyment in playing World of Warships. Just because it's, when you play with others, it's a shared experience. Where if you're not playing with others, it's more isolating, lonely. But I play regularly in divisions, and I also play regularly not in divisions. So again, I'm kind of changing up what I'm consuming and how I'm approaching and playing the game. So I think those are 6 good things overall. So 1 is just mentality. Check out that other video. 2, just reflect. How are you doing when playing the game? Check yourself. Know your limit when you're playing World of Warships. 3, take regular breaks from the game. I actually really can't emphasize that one enough because it's really, really, really helpful. If you take a break from the game and you don't miss it after 5 days, then maybe that's a pause for, well, do I really want to keep playing World of Warships? Not that I'm encouraging and trying to get you from stop playing World of Warships, but sometimes just taking a break and kind of realizing, you know, if whether you miss something or not actually tells you quite a bit. 4, have another game to play besides just World of Warships. 5, play low and mid tier. 6, just playing in divisions. So I will be doing another video talking more specifically about how I progressed in the game, what I did that helped me reach being a Unicom player. These aren't like hardcore boot camp things, just things in general. Realizing, you know, that I'm always going to be learning new things about this game. I'm never going to reach a point where I know 100% thing about this game, and that I can still always learn. That's always been really helpful. That I don't think I know it all, but that, oh, now I'm learning how the penetration angles on this ship even more with Des Moines, or oh, that I should do this, or I should be more mindful of this. I need to be more aware. Just little different types of things like that. So I'll cover that in a future video, just talking about what I did, some tips and tricks and advice of how I reach Unicum. And again, I'd only advise trying to make that grind if you're in a good place with the game and that you enjoy the game and you're having fun. If you're trying to reach Unicum player and you're just beating yourself over stick and not enjoying it, then I don't think that's really healthy for you. But as you see, there's just some questions have been asked, so just wanted to share my thoughts and topics with you. So this battle is just about to wrap up as we're about to reach 1,000 points. I held on this battle for quite some time. This is actually back in August when I had this video recorded, but I kept it for a while because I didn't have anything in mind to go along with the video. But a topic video over this I think is really helpful. So we'll quickly look at the post results and then we'll call it a day. So over 280,000 credits, 5,611 experience, 914 free XP, Kraken Unleashed, a lot of target hits, and we only got 1 torpedo hit. 5 destroyed, several set on fires, couple defended, solo cap, assisted capture. So that was a really fun game, and that's one of the reasons why I enjoy dropping down to low tier. Not that this was necessarily a SEAL clubbing division. We also try to recruit, and most times you can find players at the lower tiers to recruit that aren't in a clan yet. But this is one of those battles where we as a division carried quite strongly. And this doesn't always happen. Sometimes things go really south, and none of us get any kills when we div up as 3 people. So you can see the damage spread out there. Not a lot of significant damage besides to the destroyers to a certain extent. So I don't know, maybe you think there's some kill stealing there, I don't know. And then with Warships premium account and where you end up landing. So I think that's going to wrap up this video today. Let me know your comments or your thoughts in the comments. What you do to help enjoy having fun with the game, or if you're not having fun with the game, maybe there's some of you who are watching who can kind of share your own inputs and tips and tricks for helping having fun with the game. Because if you only focus on negative things about World of Warships, then you're going to really struggle enjoying having fun with this game. And there are a good things happening in the game. So if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you did not, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you are subscribed, thanks so much. I really appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.